Hey, and welcome to the Titletown podcast. I'm with Ben Levine, and I'm Jimmy King. And let's introduce our first topic. So, what do you want to talk about right now, Ben?
I think we were gonna start off by talking about our NFL predictions for the week. We got some good games this week, so should be interesting to see what happens in some of these.
All right. So the Packers game already happened, but I think we knew by far the Packers were going to win that game, right?
Yeah, I mean, going into the season, I was expecting the Niners to be good, but they've had to deal with a lot of injuries, especially this week. Pretty much their whole offense being out, so it was pretty obvious to me that the Packers were gonna win that game, and they did.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, except for the fact that I think that the injuries problems are on the defense mostly because obviously they lost Richard Sherman and Nick Bosa.
Yeah, they just have a lot of more like temporary injuries on their offense right now. Like Jimmy Garoppolo is out for a little bit. They have
Yeah,
like
Nick.
a bunch of running backs and wide receivers out that week, and then Kittle's going to be out for a while.
Yeah. All right. So Texans Jaguars, who you got?
I'm going with the Texans there. I think that I don't think they're a great team this year, but I do think that they should be playing better than they are, and I think the Jaguars should be playing about how they are. So I think the Texans are the better team, and they'll get the win.
Yeah, I'm going with Texans too. Is Gardner Minshew playing, or are they putting in a backup?
I'm pretty sure that Jake Luton's getting the start. I think that's how you say his name. Cause
Do they also have Mike Glennon, or is he on a different team?
yeah, they do have Glenn, and I'm pretty sure that Luton is gonna get the start though. So it's a great opportunity for him. I don't really know too much about him. I know that he's a rookie, but this could be one of his only opportunities. So he definitely has to make the most of it if he wants to get more chances in the NFL.
All right. So Giants Washington. I got the Giants because Washington's just not in a good state right now, and Daniel Jones. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think he fits the mold to be similar to Eli Manning with the Giants. Obviously, not he's not going to accomplish as much, but I think he's just overall a good quarterback. What do you
Huh.
think, Ben?
Um, I agree that the Giants are gonna win. They're both struggling this year. The Giants have actually been in a few close games though. They even had a close game against the Bucks last week. But I don't really think Daniel Jones is a great quarterback. I do think that he could have some potential. It will be interesting to see if he can actually get there though, because I think he definitely has some like decision making issues, and I don't know if he's ever gonna become a great quarterback. He
Yeah,
definitely isn't right now, but it will be interesting to see if he ever does. I'm gonna say that he won't though.
yeah. I don't think he'll be a great quarterback, but I have a feeling he'll make the Pro Bowl a couple times over his career. Not, not more than three, at least. No, at most three. Sorry. Next game is Ravens Colts. The Colts have the Colts are in an interesting spot right now. They have
Yeah,
a good running back core. Wide receivers are great. I don't know if Pitt are not great. They're good, but I don't know if Pittman's coming back this week. But if he is, then that could be a decent a decent game for them.
I'm
The
actually pretty
defense.
sure that Pittman came back last week, so
Okay,
he could have a pretty good season going forward. But Hilton's
their
struggling
defense is
though.
good. Their defense is good too, but
Yeah,
I just think that the Ravens are going to overwhelm them. Just the Ravens just have too much talent to not beat a team like the Colts.
yeah. You go with the Ravens also. They're definitely the better team. The Colts have definitely played really well this season, but I'm pretty sure that they've had a pretty easy schedule so far. And going forward, they have some really tough games. So I think they're actually gonna lose a lot of these games down the stretch. I don't even know if they're gonna make it to the playoffs or not. But starting with this game, though, I mean, I'm not saying the Colts are a bad team, but I think they might be overperforming a little bit right now. And I think the Ravens are gonna get the win.
Okay, Lions Vikings. I like the Lions. I think Stafford's out with COVID though.
Yeah. Wait. Actually. I think I saw today that he's back in the. He's like off the injury list, and he's actually gonna be playing.
Okay, well I think even with Stafford and the Vikings defense not being good, I still think the Vikings are going to win just because Cook is back, and he's cooking because
Yeah.
he got 4 touchdowns. And Kirk Cousins is a decent quarterback. They have a great receiving core, so I don't see why they don't beat
Yeah.
the Lions. Struggle on defense.
I agree. The Lions aren't a very good team, and the Vikings aren't great this year either with their bad defense, but they do still have a very good offense. So Kirk Cousins is, I think people sometimes underrate him, but he is very inconsistent. And yeah, I think that the Vikings, even though they have a bad defense this year, they're definitely the better team. So I'd be kind of surprised if they didn't win.
All right, next is Bears Titans. I have the Titans. Henry's shaping up to have a good season, although he started off slow. But I do have a feeling that this game will be closer than people think.
Yeah.
I feel like people sometimes underestimate Nick Foles when he's playing against good teams. Like, he played against the Bucs, he beat Brady again. So if that's something, I don't know what will. He's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I also love the Bears' defense. I think they definitely have one of the best defenses in the league. Going into the season, not many people thought the Bears would be good. I actually did predict that they'd be a pretty good team, which they have been so far. But even though I think they're a good team, I do still think that the Titans are gonna get the win. But the Bears are definitely a good team, though.
If you think about this, is the last point I'm gonna make about the Bears.
Yeah.
The Bears on the D line, they have Akeem Hicks, and they have Khalil Mack. For linebackers, they have Trevathan, who's good, and then they probably have someone else who's decent.
They have Roquan Smith. He's good.
He's good as well.
And Robert Quinn.
In their secondary, they have Eddie Jackson and Kyle Fuller or Kendall Fuller.
They have Kyle Fuller, yeah.
And they have 2 good players in each spot.
Yeah, also Jalen Johnson, the rookie corner, he's having a really good season.
Yeah, him as well.
Yeah, I think they definitely have one of the best defenses, and then they have some solid players on offense, so it's...
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree. Also, okay, next game is Panthers-Chiefs. With McCaffrey out, McCaffrey would obviously make a difference, but I feel like the Panthers are just too young of a team, and obviously Kansas City is just the best. In my opinion, Kansas City is the best team in the league, although the Steelers are undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely a lot of teams that are up there, and it's going to be cool to see McCaffrey come back, especially for me since he's on my fantasy team, but I definitely think that the Chiefs are a much better team than the Panthers, and I think that they should blow them out. I'd be really surprised if the Panthers won that game, or even if it was close.
Yeah. Next game, Bills Seahawks. I love the Seahawks. I've said it multiple times. I think Pete Carroll's doing a great job, and Russell Wilson's a great quarterback. And they have a certain dynamic because they have these receivers that are deep threats.
Yep.
And they have a running back who's obviously a workhorse running back. He's a power running back.
Yeah.
And their defense, although it's not amazing, it's pretty good. I think they struggle in the secondary a lot. And yeah, they struggle in the secondary a lot. But I do like Josh Allen on the other side too. I think he's got a great career ahead of him. But
yeah, so not many people are saying this, but I actually think that their secondary is actually pretty good, but it just looks really bad because they have really bad pass rushing, which makes it so that the other team has a lot of time to throw the ball, and that's why the secondary is not playing that well. I mean, if you think about it, they have Jamal Adams, Shaquille Griffin, Quentin Dunbar. I don't think they have a bad secondary. I just think it's not playing that well because of how much time the other team has to throw it. But there have been a bunch of years in a row where I said the Seahawks aren't going to be that good this year, and then they were. I'm starting to understand why they're good. And yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to win the game. Their defense it's not horrible, but it's not very good. But their offense is just dominating right now, and the Bills are definitely a good team this year, but I think the Seahawks are better.
All right, we got, how many more games do we have left? Jeez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 games left, so we should probably hurry up.
Okay.
Broncos, Falcons. I'm going to say Falcons. Falcons struggle on defense, but their offense is really good this year, and I think that if their defense played a little better, then they would be a top 10 team this year. Really, I think it's really a shame. But what do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I think Falcons are gonna win too. The Broncos have had to deal with some injuries, and like you said, the Falcons have a really good offense, so I think that should be enough to beat the Broncos this week.
All right, next game is Raiders Chargers. Okay, so I love Justin Herbert. He's, in my opinion, he's top 10 quarterback, and for a rookie, that's really
Wow.
good. I think him and Burrow are going to have great long careers and maybe even spark a rivalry. But I like the Raiders too. They have a good record. They're playing pretty well, but I just see the Chargers taking it in this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, some of what you said I agree with, some I disagree with. I do agree that the Chargers are gonna get the win. I don't like Herbert as much as you do. He's definitely off to a great start, and I've gained a lot of respect for him because I didn't expect him to be good at all. Now I'm realizing that he's gonna be pretty good. But I think that the Chargers are gonna win the game for a couple of reasons. The Raiders, I think, are playing a little bit better than they should right now. They don't have an amazing offense, and they have a horrible defense, honestly. And the Chargers have a pretty good defense, even though they have some injuries. And Justin Herbert is playing very well right now, and they have some good players. So I think the Chargers are the better team, and it makes sense for them to get a win with the record because they're better than a 2-5 team. So I think they'll win.
All right, Cardinals Dolphins. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Dolphins are too young. The Cardinals are a great team. I think the Cardinals are a playoff team, and that's all I have to say.
So you're going Cardinals?
Obviously.
Yeah, I love Tua. I think he's gonna end up being an amazing player, but the Cardinals are still better, and I think they're gonna win.
Yep. Steelers Cowboys. I say Cowboys are dealing with too many injuries, and their situation isn't good. So Steelers are undefeated. Steelers clearly going to win. That's it.
Yeah, that could definitely be a blowout. The Steelers should be able to easily win that game. Also, with what I was saying with Tua, even though I think they're gonna lose, I think he'll have a much better game than his first game. I think he could potentially have a big game this week.
Yeah, I slightly disagree with you there, but I don't want to save time. So, Saints Buccaneers. I'm Buccaneers. That's
Yeah,
great pass.
that's the game of the week in my opinion. It's two of the best teams in the NFL. I'm pretty sure Michael Thomas is coming back this week. We're going to get to see Antonio Brown play for the first time all year. I think it's going to really come down to the wire, but I think that in the end, the Bucs are going to get the win, and it's going to be really fun to see their offense with I think with 3 top 10 wide receivers. So is that the last game? Jimmy, is that the last game? I think we maybe have.
All right. I said Patriots Jets, and I said Patriots.
Okay. I think he cut out for a second, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The Patriots. I mean, the Jets are horrible this year, and Patriots have been struggling, but I think they could start to get back on track a little bit, and that will probably start with a win against the Jets this week.
All right. So I don't know. What do you want to talk about next?
Well, I mean, the NFL playoffs is coming up, and the NBA draft's coming up.
They're coming up in a while, but yeah, it's fun to talk about them.
Yeah, it's definitely not yet, but it's gonna eventually happen, and I think that it will be interesting to see like if what we think right now, if like that's what actually happens.
Yeah.
So tell me your predictions in the AFC for 1 through 7, because there are 7 teams in the playoffs this year in each conference.
So Bills, obviously, they're winning the AFC East, and I don't think the Dolphins are good enough. I think they're too young. So I don't think they're securing a wild card spot even.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not yet.
So AFC West, Chiefs, 100% obvious choice.
Yeah,
Definitely have a chance at a wild card spot, but there's possibility there. But they have a tough schedule this year, I think.
the Raiders. Yeah, I think they're playing over their heads. Like I said before, their defense, if they don't have like a top five offense, and if your defense is that bad and your offense isn't like insane, then I don't think you can make it to the playoffs.
I'm looking now, right now at the amount of teams in the AFC, and if you said 7 are going to make it, then so the AFC North, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I
The
think,
Steelers are obviously going to make it.
and the Ravens are too.
The Ravens are too, but the Browns. That's can two teams in one division secure a wild card spot? Is that possible? I don't know.
I think so. I mean, the Browns are playing really well this year. The new coach Stefanski is working great for them. I do think that OBJ injury is definitely gonna hurt them. You know that I've liked Baker Mayfield for a while, and I keep thinking he's gonna break out. I still think that it will happen. I don't know if it will this year, but I do think that the Browns are going to be able to make it to the playoffs. Also, remember this. I think that Rashard Higgins is going to end up having a pretty good season. Not amazing, but he's going to end up having a pretty good season.
All right, and then AFC South is Titans and Colts are both in a tight race. I'm just gonna go with the Titans because I feel like
Oh, I think it cut out for a second. We're just gonna wait for Jimmy's audio to come back. Probably any second to hear what he was saying about the AFC South, the Titans and the Colts. I don't think he's gonna have the Texans or Jaguars making it, but you never know. Okay, he's back now.
Yeah, I said the Titans are gonna take it away because Philip Rivers is just a turnover machine.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Titans are gonna win that too. Yeah. So is that
That's
So
that's for AFC. That's those are 7 teams.
wait, so who'd you have for the wild card?
So I had Bills, Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens, and Titans. Wait, is that how many teams? So
Well,
2 make the wild card, right?
no, 3 this year actually.
3 this year. Okay, so Bills, Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens. So I think the Browns, the Titans, and the Raiders will make the wild card.
Browns, Titans, Raiders.
Yeah.
Wait, so yeah, no, the Titans are in a different. They're in a different division, so they'd have to win their division. But who'd you have winning the AFC North then,
AFC North, I have the Steelers winning.
instead of the Ravens? Huh.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna go with the Bills winning the AFC East. That seems pretty obvious this year. I'm gonna come back to the wild cards after. I have the AFC North. This is going to be really interesting. The Steelers I think they were very underrated going into the year. I don't think they should be 7-0 though. I still think that the Ravens can win that division. I mean, that might sound crazy and I might end up being wrong, but I think I could see them both finishing 13-3, and then if they get the tiebreaker, then they win the division. The Titans are gonna win the AFC South. I mean, the Colts are doing pretty well this year, but they have a really tough schedule. I'd be surprised if they even went 9-7, honestly. So I think that the Titans are gonna win that, and then the Chiefs obviously win the AFC West. So then for the wild card, the Steelers obviously. I think the Browns will get it, and then for the third team, this is gonna end up being a very important matchup. The Patriots play the Chargers. I don't know what week, but there's some week that they play each other, and even though they're both struggling right now, I think that they're both going to turn it around and finish 9-7, and whoever wins that game will get the tiebreaker. So whoever wins that game, in my opinion, will end up making it to the playoffs as the 7th seed, and I'm going to say that that's going to be the Patriots. I could be wrong. They're not doing too well right now, but I'm not being biased either. Like, going into the season, some people said the Patriots were going to be 11-5. I said they'd be 9-7, and they're struggling right now, but they have, in my opinion, the best coach ever. They have a pretty good defense. So if they can just get their offense going at least a little bit, then I think they have a chance. So that's who I have as the 7th seed in the AFC.
All right, let's go into NFC. We don't have to put them into rankings necessarily. Let's just NFC East, boys, this conference terrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Eagles
Yeah.
because Washington's not good enough, and the
No.
Cowboys quarterback obviously, and other issues.
Offensive line. Yeah.
NFC West, you got the Seahawks, Cardinals, and Rams. This is also like the AFC North, where every team in the division is good.
Yeah. And the Niners would be right there if it wasn't for all their injuries.
Yeah, and I'm going to say the Seahawks, Cardinals, and Rams make the playoffs.
Okay.
Packers, Bears, Lions, Vikings, AFC North. NFC North.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Packers make it, and I'm also going to say the Bears make it.
So you're at
So
1, 2.
So one more team making it.
I don't think. See, I think you're gonna have to take someone out because I'm pretty sure the Saints and Bucks are both gonna make it.
I don't know if the Saints are going to make
You
it.
don't think the Saints are gonna make
Well,
it to the
actually,
playoffs?
Thomas is coming back, and although I don't think he's going to be amazing, I think he will be a distraction so other receivers can shine. I'll take. I'm going to take the Rams out, and I'm going to put in
Okay.
the Saints instead. Because obviously the Rams' offense is not amazing, and the Rams' defense is good. But they haven't had a challenge yet as far as the teams they played.
Yeah. So I think the Eagles are gonna win the NFC East. It's not very good in there. Thought it would be the Cowboys, but they've had to deal with too many injuries. And then the Packers are gonna win the NFC North. NFC South, I think he's gonna end up being very close, but I'm gonna go with the Bucks. And then I think that the Seahawks are gonna win the NFC West. And then for the wild cards, I think you're really sleeping on the Saints. I think they're one of the best teams in the NFL. They have a great defense. They have a great offense when Michael Thomas comes back, and I think they're one of the best teams. I'm kind of embarrassed about this now, but I did have them winning the Super Bowl going into the season. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I don't think that's going to happen anymore, but I do still think that they'll make it pretty far because I think they have a really good team. Really balanced. It's just a really good team. And then for the other two wild cards, I'm going to go with the Bears and the Cardinals. So the same as you, I guess. I had the 49ers making it up until George Kittle and Jimmy Garoppolo were both going to be out for a while, but I think that's going to be too much to overcome.
Yep. Thanks for listening. If you're new, which you probably are, subscribe and like. It would help a lot. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks.